I am delighted to be joined by Reb Veale this afternoon. Thank you, Reb, for taking time to share a little bit more about yourself and your presentation. So you are presenting live in person at the conference in May 2026. And your topic, which sounds intriguing, is Living Life in 4D, a New Model. So please do start by telling us a bit more about yourself and your presentation.
No, thank you, Karen. And I never take for granted, and presenting at the NLP International Conference is such a privilege. So for people that I haven't yet met, I look forward, hopefully, to meeting you in person at the conference. My name is Reb Veale. I'm an NLP master trainer. I'm also a master trainer of MBIT, the multiple brain integration techniques, embraining, you may have heard it as. And one of the things that I'm fascinated in is modeling. And that's where this topic came from. Through modeling, I had been getting a bit grumpy, actually, about everything in life seeming very black and white, either or. Everything seemed to be 2D, two dimensions, very flat. And I didn't feel like I fitted into that. And I didn't actually feel that my coaching clients or corporate organizational clients fitted into that. So I was looking for something that was more complex, more dynamic, something that really fitted them and helped them better. So that's where Living Life in 4D came from. It was a modeling project that gave rise to a new model. So that's what I'm going to be sharing and walking people through, and yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and that's a big leap from 2D to 4D. So that's going to be an interesting journey.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, it's entitled A New Model. So, what is fresh, innovative, and new about your presentation?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned that it's more complex, and that gives rise to the 4D-ness of it, as it were. Because it felt like going from 2D to 3D was at least useful, seeing as our clients, seeing them as three dimensions, unique individuals. But then it felt necessary to take it to 4 dimensions, because people who are three-dimensional never stay the same. Well, they shouldn't, certainly. And so it felt like making a model that was more dynamic, more flexible, really taking on board Stephen Covey's principle of seek first to understand. So understanding, where's my client coming from,
Right.
so that I can meet them where they're at, meet them in their model of the world, their map of the world, and really help them in terms of how they're dealing with life, which sounds like a very catch-all, but most of our clients are either struggling to deal with change of some kind,
Mm.
or an opportunity, or a challenge, or perhaps some element of resilience, and their ability to cope with pressure and change. So I wanted something that was really simple to deal with that complexity, and something practical and pragmatic. So the session is going to be hugely interactive. There'll be a bit of me sharing bits of the model,
Yeah.
and then there'll be lots of exercises to, in pairs and threes, go and workshop and come back in an action research way and report back. How did that go? What did you discover? And then those, of course, will be the takeaways and aspects of the model for people to take forward into their practice.
Yeah.
And then I hope that after that, people will keep in touch and will let me know, how did this work with real life clients out there in the field?
Fantastic. So, what top tip would you give to delegates that are planning on coming to your presentation?
That's a really good one. My top tip is actually going to be split into two, which I know is cheating a bit, but I'm hoping for some
Okay. Part
latitude.
A and part B.
Yeah. So part A is come armed with some real clients, not literally, but metaphorically. So bring some of your clients along mentally so that you can effectively apply the model to them before you ever go back and use it with them, so that you can work the exercises through with those clients. And part B is really, Stephen Covey said, seek first to understand. Well, we can only really do that when we've applied something to ourselves. So it's actually bring your understanding of your preferences in real life situations about change, about how you approach opportunities, how you feel about challenges, how you develop your own resilience and use resilience, how you
Yeah.
draw upon your own resilience, because we all do it differently. And that way, hopefully, we'll all take something away for ourselves.
Hmm.
We'll also learn by working with other people who do things differently in the session in
Yeah.
person, and then have some really practical takeaways to take forward into our practice.
Wonderful. That's a little bit of home play before we start.
Exactly.
So, Reb, what inspired you to want to present at what is going to be the last in-person NLP International Conference?
Yeah, it's a major thing, even more so now. Firstly and foremost, the NLP International Conference has always been the premier NLP event in the calendar. I think I've said to you before on occasions, it's always been the first thing that goes in my diary, and everything else fits around that. So as soon as the call for papers or proposals came out, I immediately wanted to submit one. I wanted to be there. I'll be exhibiting there, and so it was really important to me to put something in that was worthwhile. And modeling felt like a really important thing, given that that's the core of NLP.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I found out recently that it was going to be the final in person, and well, I'm a hugger. It's not
Yes,
mandatory. I'm not going to hug anybody who doesn't want to be hugged. But
this is a bit.
for me, the buzz, the dynamism, the unexpected opportunities that come out of the in-person networking, the learning, and there is not better or worse, but a different quality of learning that arises and emerges out of in person. So I was going to be there come hell or high water, and the opportunity to present something I feel so passionately about is just an absolute privilege. And for those listening, please, please join me, join Karen, join everyone there at the final in-person NLP International Conference. I can only imagine it's going to be an incredibly special gathering of special people, and those conversations that happen over coffee breaks, over a meal in the restaurant in the evening. Oh, it's just going to be phenomenal. So whatever you need to do, just do the Alita Adams. You can join me by mail boat, airplane, whatever it might be. Just make sure that you get there.
Yes. And thank you for presencing the emergence of, because I think that actually is a beautiful summary of what happens, that well, every conference is different, they're all magical, they're all
Mm,
special, but it's the emergence that's created by the people who are there. So
yeah.
thank you for presencing that, and thank you for presenting as well. So just to remind those watching, Reb is presenting on the live at the weekend of 16th, 17th of May 2026 with your new model, Living Life in 4D. So thank you so much, Reb, for joining me today, and looking forward to seeing you in May.